Hiya, I'm Erin Williams, a final year fashion design student, and this is my professional practice presentation where I'll be talking through all the things I've learned over the past 3 years and how I'm going to transfer these skills into building a career for myself. Who am I? As a designer, I'd say I'm quite resourceful and experimental with my designs. That's definitely relevant to my graduate collection. But at the same time, I think I'm quite independent. I like working on my own to ensure I have that honesty within my work and I stay true to my style. I think I'm really good at communicating with others. I think I'm a real people person when it comes to talking about fashion and especially sustainability. I have high attention to detail. I love colour and materials. I go into a charity shop and that's it. I just want to buy everything because I'm so drawn to the tactile element of material. But my personal values, this is an exercise we did in one of the workshops with the Centre for Entrepreneurship, and I'd say I'm an honest and empathetic person, and that's something I'd look for in other people I wanted to collaborate with. Being prepared, being determined, but also curious and reflective, which works with my attributes with being experimental and resourceful. My designer statement for my graduate collection, Home Comforts, is all about me and how I dealt with lockdown and my need for security and emotional comfort. It was such an uncertain time and it was so tense within my house that my room was my safe space, and it made me feel so inspired and I just loved being there. So I wanted to bring in the juxtaposition of comfort with discomfort and contrasting these using really comfortable materials, but then creating a very uncomfortable silhouette to mimic the feelings felt over lockdown and these restricting rules that were put in place, but also the uncertainty and the voids of all the uncertainty. My work is really inspired by the theories of Jonathan Chapman. I love his ideas on empathy and the lifespan of empathy and how we can the lifespan of clothing by creating emotional connections to them. And that's what I really wanted to bring in with this collection, is creating pieces that could be souvenirs for this pandemic, things that people would keep forever. My potential career paths. I have quite a determined mindset with this. I really want to start my own brand, working from my graduate collection and creating something a bit more commercial, but still keeping the experimental aspect of it. So year after uni, I'll be building this brand, building a customer base and producing a range of products, networking with lots of like-minded people so I can build into collaborating at some point, and gain experience within a small business would be brilliant. I'd also like to explore more garment construction and different craft elements like ceramics. I'd love to start experimenting in different mediums too. And then hopefully in 3 years, Erin Olivia, the brand, would merge into a social enterprise and create change within the industry, working with waste textiles to give new life and create a clothing library so people could bring in their waste. A group of makers would upcycle this waste into great garments, and people could rent it or buy it, and if they didn't want it, they could bring it back if they didn't build that connection with, just to create a really circular loop of my garments. So far, I've attended the pattern cutting webinar with Julian Roberts, which was the inspiration for my collection. I got in touch with Centre for Entrepreneurship, and I was involved in lots of workshops, and I've got an upcoming course on social enterprises. I've developed my CV and cover letter with Naeem, and attended lots of webinars with the Career Service. I've written my business one-pager, which I sent off for the Flash Fund, and then I've also invested in resources I'd need to start my business, like an overlocker, things that I can use to create really high quality garments. And I've also started networking with other like-minded people who were in the Centre for Entrepreneurship workshops that also got in touch with me as well. So after this, after I've graduated or after I've submitted, I'll be developing my garments into more commercial inclusive designs, working on grading so that I can be more inclusive. I'll start setting up my Etsy shop and my Depop and promoting Erin Olivia on Instagram. So this is my branding. I've used the stamps again, like in my graduate collection, because I feel they look really organic and they bring like a handmade element. I didn't want it to be a linear font. I didn't want it to be structured. I wanted there to be some disruption within it. And then I printed off on card and then sewn them onto some pieces of material that I've used within my collection to follow on this upcycling. And I didn't fancy using card. I think I'll develop the printed labels to be fabric of some sort, but that's something I'll look to do in the future. And then these are my live applications. So I sent off my business one pager for the Flash Fund, and that got accepted. So I've got £200 funding, which is really great to start my business. And then I've sent off application to be a guinea pig almost for a boot camp. And then I've also sent an application to a small upcycling brand, Antiform, as well. And here are my CV examples. I probably wouldn't use the plain one, but this is just one to have just in case I apply for a very basic job that didn't need my creative one. But I really like the style of my creative one, and I feel like it works really well within my collection and within my portfolio. And then here's my website. I put a lot of energy into making my website look professional and have a really striking first impression. And I've added the link here if you look at it later. But I've used lots of imagery and then lots of descriptive text, not too much text, mostly imagery, just to convey the feelings of my work. And then I've done all the modules that I have taken throughout the 3 years. And my online presence. So I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn. I've worked up quite a following on Instagram, and this will definitely develop as I start my brand. I'd really like to start promoting my posts, but I think that'll be when I start posting about my brand and about garments that I've made to sell. And then my LinkedIn is more professional and the jobs I have. So I currently volunteer for Age Cymru as a telephone befriender, which I love doing, and it's a nice job to have. It's just volunteering, unpaid. So I basically phone a lady who's feeling lonely each week, just so that it decreases that sense of loneliness, and she has someone to talk to each week then. And reflection. So I can't believe how much my work's developed over the last 3 years. I have loved everything I've made, really, except that 24-hour challenge. Wasn't too keen on the outcome of that. But my macro world is one of my favourite garments, and the same with the Age of Inclusivity shirt code garment. I'm really proud of everything I've created, and I think I've worked really hard to make sure I got the most out of every module. And my experiences, so all my work paid off. I got lots of promotion through GFW's Instagram. They posted 3 of my Instagram posts, and then I was also selected by GFW and won Tag Your Talent and received £50 too, and that was a really good boost at the beginning of the year. I wrote a blog on sustainability for the Cardiff Met student blogs. I'm a summer show rep as well, which I always wanted to be a class rep, but I didn't feel like I had the confidence yet. But I've really enjoyed being a summer show rep, and it's definitely broadened my people skills as well. And I'm really proud of all the work that I've done for competitions and the things that have been sent off. So my GFW work, my BFC and my coats. And then my proudest moment ever is being selected to be in Draper's magazine. I can't believe it. It's the proudest moment without a doubt. And then I feel like I'm really eligible for the Edge Award. I've practiced my ethical awareness and resource efficiency from first year, from shirt code. I've stayed up on brand, and I've upcycled for every fashion project I've done. My dissertation questioned how garments can be made using textile waste to build stronger connections and improve the durability of garments. And I'm also an ambassador for Sustainable Fashion Week, where I raise awareness around sustainable fashion, and I organise activities to increase engagement within Sustainable Fashion Week, but also just promote sustainability and build more knowledge around the subject, and myth bust almost fast fashion. Digitally, I've really developed. This year has been such a roller coaster with my digital work. I think submitting for so many competitions really honed in my skills with digital, and I've become quite quick. And working virtually this year, everything's been digital, and it's been a real shift from everything being in person to virtual. And I've really enjoyed that time management side of things and having everything in one place, but also it's been so difficult not having the physical aspect of things. But also I've been networking with different people on Instagram and LinkedIn as well, and after different seminars I'd get in touch with different industry members and connect with them on LinkedIn. And globally, I frequently post through Instagram and LinkedIn and networking with people all over the world. My work's been featured on official GFW 3 times, which reaches a wide audience again. And I've enrolled in the Padoga Project's intercultural fluency course, which will develop my knowledge communicating internationally, which I think will be really beneficial, having my own brand and having those skills. And entrepreneurial, I've attended so many Centre for Entrepreneurship webinars and workshops to develop my understanding of running my own business. I've written the business one-pager and received funding to get my brand Erin Olivia up and running. So I'm really excited for the next steps with that. And then here's a few of the best picks from my portfolio pages. We've got my mood board, development board, home comforts lineup, and my professional imagery. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, let me know.